Look who's in the studio right now with his Jackets gear in place. And this schedule. This is magnetic, and I can put this. Where can I put this?
You can put it anywhere it will stick.
Yeah, it's not the first time I've heard that. I don't kid you. Not at all. Jody Shelley, our guest. Jody, I'm telling. No, I mean I'm pouring on a little bit. And you've always been a handsome dude, but you look like you must have had a great summer.
Oh,
you're in great shape. You're smiling. You look healthy. I mean, life is good.
Keep going.
Am I wrong?
No, life is good. I'm excited. Yeah,
Did you imagine? Go back 25 years, the life of Jody Shelley. Did you imagine 25 years ago that you'd be doing what you're doing now and having such a good time?
No, I don't know what I was imagining, but it had nothing to do with what I'm doing right now. I'll tell you that.
It was like, who can I rumble with next? Was that pretty much it?
I don't know. Just survival, maybe day to day. Yeah. Probably a few fights and stitches involved. Yeah.
When you were playing hockey, though, and thinking of the end game when you were done, did you think about, you're an excellent analyst, and I enjoy watching you on Fox Sports Ohio. Did you think that could be in your future media?
You know what? I kept all doors open. And when I got to finish at an older age, I guess you call it, a long, long time ago. But no, I was 37 playing for the Philadelphia Flyers, and I knew I was done. And so I talked to broadcasters. I talked to people in different positions, business, and I just kind of explored. But I kind of thought maybe I'd get into it. But once I sat down and got back with the Blue Jackets, it was the door they had open for me, and I thought, well, let's try it.
Yeah, and I mean, the team playing as well as they've played over the last couple of years, that's got to make it even better.
Oh, yes.
I mean,
you guys would understand, but when you have the product, I think it's good for everyone. We see ticket sales people and everyone, but yeah, for broadcasting, it makes it much more enjoyable.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I can't imagine, waking up and loving what you do, but really not having the stuff to talk about.
Well,
like you want.
there's more stories. You just tell more stories about the people, and that's really what you get from, especially when the game gets out of hand.
Yeah. So now when you were playing, you're in the locker room. There's kind of a vibe in there. Mm-hmm. Now that you're outside of that, do you still get to be a part of that vibe, or are you kind of like an outsider now?
I'm outside. You know, it's funny. That's a good point and a great observation, because when you're inside the locker room, you think there's a lot of people allowed inside the locker room for some weird reason. But when you're on the outside and that door is closed and you're standing out there, you're like, wow, there's not very many people in that room. and so, no, it's I had my time. It was special. But, no, I'm on the outside. I'm in a good spot, very good spot.
Good stuff. Jody Shelley, our guest, talking Jackets home opener tonight.
Tomorrow night. Friday night.
Tomorrow night. Oh, so we're a day ahead.
Yeah.
See, I was jacked.
We're ahead of it.
Okay. Well, I expect that out of you.
But we're still excited about it.
Well,
that was great
as
enthusiasm.
You should be. So tell me that. When you talk about it, because, again, high level, been there for a couple seasons, everybody always wants a little more.
Yeah.
So what's the story that's going to get us a little more this year,
Well,
Jody?
This is a town of championships, and this team has got to take it. They have to feed off what they did last year. So what's going to get them a little more? The players that have been here for 5, 6, 7 years. They have to grow within. And there's 3 young players who made this roster. 2 guys are from Sweden, 1 guy's from France, and it's very interesting. These guys are NHL players; they're ready to go, and they're pushing for jobs. So, you know what? It's feeding off the loss 2 years ago to Washington in the playoffs, and then last year a little success with Tampa, but losing and ultimately being disappointed to Boston. Now it's taken another step as an organization, and they know it. And expectations from the crowd and you have got to stay high.
It's interesting you talk about expectations. There's like a disconnect, Jody, I would say, from like national people that you read talking about the Blue Jackets because of losing Bob and Brett and Matt Duchene, to what you hear within the locker room and what you hear John Tortorella talk about. There's a chip on their shoulder like, yeah, those guys are gone, but we're going to be fine. How far can that chip carry a team?
Oh, I think it carried them a long way in the first round last year. I think that's what really they got behind and motivated them to win and sweep the Tampa Bay Lightning. I think it'll take them a little ways this year, and I think definitely at the start it's a good motivator. But ultimately, 82-game season, there has to be a point here where they just need to realize that they are a good team. And the thing is, you're right. Matt, that's a great point. Observers on the outside of this, they think that this is off the cliff because those guys are gone, but it's not. I mean, the parts on this team, the players that have been here, this organization is ahead of a lot of organizations as far as people that have been here. So I love where they're at. I love that they have something to prove. I think it's an important part of a young team.
Yeah, Matt and I were talking, during the 8 o'clock news there before you got here, And it's weird. I mean, the Columbus dynamic, everybody knows that Ohio State football is kind of the thing. And now that they're being talked about as a potential national title and all that stuff, it's almost like the Jackets. You kind of like, you get a little bubble here, first game, hey, here's the Jackets, and then it kind of maybe goes away a little bit moving forward. So really the goal is almost like we got to be relevant when people start paying attention to us again. I mean, I know nationally the hockey stuff, it goes and goes in your world, but for like the average sports consumer in Columbus, like, hey, when I start paying attention, if you guys are at a high level, bam, it's like right now.
Exactly. And that is one dynamic, but the other thing is this is our team. This is our National Hockey League team. And if you watch the way this team grows, the roster tomorrow night will be different when playoffs start in April. They will have to tune. There will be players rise. There will be players that will have to take. This team is going to make changes if they have to. So if you watch that grow throughout the season, it's even more satisfying when you see them on that high level to how they got there. Yeah. They're at a high level now, but the regular season is to build and figure out the formula for when you hit the playoffs, and that's when you got to be going 1,000 miles an hour.
Well, you brought Joel and me goalie sticks.
Goalie stick, yeah.
Which begs the question.
I mean, that's a real goalie stick.
I mean, that's incredible.
The guy that's been carrying the goalie stick mostly is no longer with the Blue Jackets, Sergei Bobrovsky. Now,
That's interesting. We brought goalie sticks then.
Yeah,
right?
tell me your confidence.
He had some extra ones left.
Your confidence in Jonas Korpisalo going forward, Elvis Merzlikins. I know that Jarmo Kekalainen talked about it. Hey, if I wasn't confident of those guys, I would have gone and done something in the offseason. Do you feel like they are ready to be the 1-2 goalies for the Jackets?
Well, that is the question mark. And I think you're going with two. One guy has not played a National Hockey League game in Elvis. And one guy's played, I think, under 50, or maybe close to 50. So, you know what? It's a question mark. There is a way for this to happen, though. There is a way for this team to succeed. And it's like, I would maybe like a quarterback. You don't have the star quarterback, but the O-line is protecting him. There's a way to play the game in the defensive zone that can help Korpisalo. You'll notice his rebound control might be a little different than Bobrovsky. Maybe plays go a little longer in the defensive zone. But the players around him need to help and support him. We're going to find out right away. And obviously the team believes in these two guys. They do a great job in figuring things out. So right now that's how it is. Could it change? It could. But I don't think so. I think Korpisalo is being pushed, and I think he's learned from Bobrovsky, and he knows how important this opportunity is.
Good stuff, Jody. It's always great. I hope you stop by anytime you got time.
Anytime, yeah.
And thank you very much. I mean, this magnet, I'm going to put this on my car, and it will double the value of my car. So
that's awesome.
It is
that's
awesome. I'm so excited. I might put it on the eBay starting tomorrow with the thing on it. I'm making cash. So great. Good luck to the Jackets tomorrow.
Thank you very much.
Have big fun. We'll be watching.